How are we doing today? This is your travel advisor. Hi, this is Ruby Schrader. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm hoping you do because I have been in all over social media. So I hope you guys can recognize me. I have my cell phone on as well on Facebook just to make sure if there are any questions. I can see your comments because with Stringer it doesn't show that way. If you can hear me alright, just leave me a comment down below just to make sure that you guys can hear me. So for today, actually what I wanted to do is just to simply share what I have learned when I did the Jamaica travel protocol. So basically, like if you are thinking or you have friends who are planning to go on a trip to Jamaica. Actually, my husband and I will be going to Jamaica very soon, so it is very interesting to learn and understand how Jamaica as a destination is ready to accept tourists. So today I just wanted to quickly go through basically the slides of what I've learned. And yeah, hopefully just to give you some information about how they're going to facilitate and accommodate each and every guest that goes to Jamaica. If you see me that I keep looking to my right, it's because I have my cell phone on this side. And it's just to make sure that I can greet the guest who's with me right now. Jonathan, thank you. I did send you a message and I was asking for your email address so I can send you the information that you need for the cruise. Okay, maybe it's better with lights like that. It's a bit too bright. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get started because I have another meeting at 8:30. I don't want to take so much of your time, so I just want to share as much information as I could. And if you have any questions, you can message. I'm just excited to share this with you guys. So I'm going to share my screen now. If you can message me, if you can hear me all right, that'll be perfect. If you can see my screen, that would be amazing too. All right. So it's just the initial sharing here. Okay, this is like the second presentation that they already did. They had their first webinar about the travel protocol. I think 2 weeks ago. So Jamaica has actually opened up their phase 1 of travel since 15th of June. And as you can see here on this slide, so these are the major airlines that's currently operating and traveling to Jamaica as of the moment. So you have American Airlines, Delta, JetBlue, Southwest, Spirit Airlines, and United Airlines. Guys, if you can hear me, if you can see my screen, just leave me a comment so I know that it's going well. So far, I think it is. So Jamaica Travel Protocol is starting a new course. It was actually very interesting to understand how things are going to go because like I said, I will be traveling to Jamaica, so it's good to get informed. And if you guys are planning to go, then at least you know what to expect since we are still, within the phase of battling the COVID and trying to keep everyone safe. So majority of the hotels have actually opened up. They have something that they call like a corridor of hotels. I'll show you the map later. But they have done an extensive training and health and safety requirements for all the hotels. As you know, their official language is English, so everybody is well aware of what needs to do and what needs to be done from the airport, by the time that you actually arrive in the island, and when you check in, what happens in the hotel, and by the time that you leave the property. So this is basically just an overview. I don't want to overwhelm you because it is a lot of information, so I'm going to try and go through just the most important part, I think, as a tourist, that you should know in case you decide to travel to Jamaica. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So the corridor phase one, as you can see on the map, it's all up in the north upper part of Jamaica. So from Negril to Port Antonio is where majority of the hotels are currently open, except for the south coast. So I learned earlier that the south coast, their hotels are still not operating. So you can still go to Ocho Rios, which is beautiful, Montego Bay, and Negril. They have amazing beaches over there. So currently, they have 18 properties that have been certified. So yeah, today we'll just have to go through the main entry requirements, the health and safety, airport transportation, hotels, and medical. But I'll try to go as fast as you can. When I do my Thursday live, I try to do like 20-25 minutes so I don't take so much of your time. So we're gonna try and condense everything that I learned today. Okay, so every places in Jamaica is actually fully sanitations is in process. They will have very strict, I wouldn't say strict, but if you're a tourist and you're staying in the hotel, they actually ask you to oblige with all the rules and the policies that they have implemented, just to make sure that each and every staff and guests are taken care of. The guest will be required to actually wear a mask in the lobby. That's what they said, like in the lobby, in the common areas in the property. But if you're somewhere along the beach side or the pool side and you don't have to do that, the what's it called, the chairs and the beach beds are already separated 6 feet apart. So that's already taken care of, and you don't have to wear your mask when you go for a swim. That doesn't make any sense. But yes, you should maintain like physical distancing. So they actually don't call it social distancing, which is pretty cool. I don't think we should be socially distant, but just physically distant. So the staff, everybody in the hotel, airport, they're all being briefed and trained to exactly what needs to be done, and still ongoing trainings till date. So what I understand is for the meantime, this process is until the end of June. So it's just like 5 days from now, but they already opened up their destination since the 15th of June, right? So what they're trying to do is this entire process is solely dependent on the government's decision if they want to extend these policies to, I don't know when, maybe until June, July, August, September. They didn't really give a time frame, but basically what they're trying to do here is that they wanted to get statistics of how these things are going to work, and then depending on the outcome, I believe that's when they're going to decide if they will extend this kind of procedure from the airport and through the check-in and stuff like that. Okay, so when you arrive, okay, we'll start with the airport first. So when you get into the airport, you have to wear your mask all the time. All right, it's mandatory that you have to wear your mask when you're at the airport. There will be military at the airport, they said, just because there will be so many people, and they wanted to maintain, order. So don't be alarmed if you're a traveler there and you find that there are military around the airport. It's just something that they had to do to make sure everything is taken care of, everyone is taken care of, and stuff like that. So when you arrive at the hotel, for example, So you will be escorted to their room. You will have your bellman or your concierge to help you out. The usual housekeeping services, they said it might not be everyday cleaning services, just because they're trying to maintain physical distancing, right? So maybe before they might do everyday cleaning, maybe this time might be alternate days. And if you're being escorted to your room, for example, your concierge, if you have to use an elevator, it's only the guest that will come up first and use the elevator. The bellman or the concierge guys who's assisting you to go to your room will probably take another route to go to your room, or they take the elevator next. So basically, there is physical distances happening on that side. Everything will be ready before you even check in. Like I said earlier, you don't have to wear a mask when you're in the beach or poolside, but anything which is a common area in the hotel, you would have to wear a mask. And then for the restaurants area, they haven't decided yet. It depends on the hotel, I think, if they're gonna do like a reservation, like a scheduled set date to maintain a number of people who are dining in the restaurant, especially if it's an enclosed area. They're probably have reservations. You probably will have to book a reservation just to make sure they don't exceed the number of guests. And if it's an enclosed area, then you would probably have to wear a mask too. For the gym, of course, that's a common area, so it will be the same. And then another thing that they're trying to come up with is if you're traveling to Jamaica, you have to apply for a travel authorization form in advance. So you have to do this 72 hours before your trip. And you have to use what's it called, an email address, like an active email address that you remember your password, you remember your email address, because this is very, very important all throughout your booking process, filling out the form whilst in Jamaica, and even after you leave Jamaica. So you have to make sure you use, my dog is making a lot of noise, so if you can hear him, I'm sorry. But yeah, you have to make sure you have an email address. So if you go to the, I believe it's visitjamaica.com is where you can find the travel authorization form. This is where they're gonna start you like the questionnaire. So they're gonna ask you if you live in Jamaica, where are you coming from, and then you have to submit your email address. They are going to send you a one-time password, which is done electronically. So once you've completed that part, you will receive a one-time password, and then you can now continue to start your entry process. So basically, when you do this form, you can fill it out for yourself or for someone else. Like if you're a family traveling to Jamaica, you can just use one email address for everybody, especially if it's minors and kids traveling with you. So maybe like 2 parents and 2 kids, you can just probably use one email address, and you just have to literally follow the registration process. So it's going to ask you, like the usual, what should we say, like what kind of form? I can't think of anything right now. Let's just stick to this one. So, when you fill out a form, they'll ask you with your last name, your first name, street address, where you're coming from. So if you're coming from the US, your date of travel, birth date, and the most important part is your passport number. I know that you can edit this once if you ever made a mistake, but I would rather not make any mistake. So make sure that you have your passport number written correctly, the state you're traveling from, and then like how many family members are traveling with you. So if you're traveling with 3 more people, then on this part you have to put like 4 guests in total. And then step 4 is it's going to ask you like the purpose of visit. So majority of us, I think the purpose of visit would be vacation. But then if you click on the drop down box, you would see other choices like business, I don't know, visiting relatives, maybe it should be there as an option, and then the type of hotel accommodation. So majority would be hotel, and then you have to put the hotel name and the address of the hotel and so forth. Like I said, this is the resilient corridor. They actually said earlier that in Jamaica they only had a single-digit case. So I think they've been pretty good somehow in maintaining and like keeping everybody safe in Jamaica. So that's why they came up with this like step-by-step rule and process that everything now is online, including the custom information form. Okay, so and then you have to declare these questions. So guys, if by any chance you're traveling and then something happened and you got tested positive, God forbid that doesn't happen to any one of us, but if that is the case and you have everything planned and you're still thinking, okay, I'm not yet sure if I'm positive or negative, they just simply ask us to not travel. Why? Because there are other reasons that I'll show you later, but you have to go through all these declaration questions. So for example, have you experienced symptoms of COVID? Have you tested positive? Have you been in close contact with anyone? And then you have to sign this form. So honesty is the best policy. It's not only for you, it is for everybody. So if something happens, they suggest not to travel at all. Okay, so this one is just the consent. I'm squinting over here because it's kind of small, but it's a lot of information. It's just like acknowledging that yes, whatever you said is true. So it's just all about health screening, consent, stay in public resilience corridor, and that's it. And then you have to do your immigration and custom card. So you basically have to just retype everything here, and some of the details here I think would be automatically populated already because you've already filled that out. I mean, you have already typed the information before, and then once you've submitted that, then you will receive this prompt saying thank you for submitting your travel authorization for Jamaica information for entry. Your submission will be processed immediately and the outcome will be sent to your email address. That's why I told you earlier that whatever email address you're going to use, you have to make sure that it's active. You remember the password because you would carry that email address with you along the way. So you cannot have any error on that one. Just use one email address, guys. I know we all have so many. I have 4 email addresses, I think. Personal and business and other stuff. So, okay. And then once that's done, then you will receive a travel authorization for Jamaica. You can see there is a barcode, which is very, very important. You need to print this out because when you arrive at the airport, they are going to ask for this paper and they would have to scan this barcode just to make sure that you have gone through the process of filling out the travel authorization form. As you can see, you have your name, your date of birth, your passport number, and the application reference number. Okay, so this is just the arrival visitor experience. So from the deplane, temperature requirement, immigration, luggage claim, and stuff like that. For the deplane, so they said that the visitors will deplane by rows from front to back. So if you're the type of person that you want to get out of the plane right away, then you might have to book what is it, like a first class plane, and make sure that you're sitting at the front row. Otherwise, you would have to wait until your row's full. When you arrive in the island, this is very important. Right now, up until the June 30th, you would have to undergo COVID-19 testing. That's free, so you don't have to worry about that. But each and every person who has reached the island will have to do the testing. There is no requirement. I believe, I can double check this for you guys, but I believe with kids, probably not, if I remember it right. But I can cross check that for you. But I know that for adults, everyone will be tested, and that's for free. And then you would have to go through the the luggage claim. Um, yeah, it says here children are subject to testing, so that's good. And then you will be dispatched. So that's basically your entire airport experience. Yeah, so like I said earlier, you are required to wear your mask at all times when you're at the airport. So what happens, for example, your result came back positive, knock on wood. So the result will come out between 24-48 hours. That's what they said. And if the result came back and you're tested positive, they said that you will be in the isolation area in the resort where you're staying at. And then they're going to keep testing you. I don't know what is the time frame really, like for how long or when would be the next testing until you're tested negative. So, for example, if you decide to travel to Jamaica and something happened and you don't feel comfortable that you might be quarantined in the island or in Jamaica for 14 days or so, then you should not travel, because no one can really tell what's going to happen. This is just hotel protocols, which I think I already discussed earlier. And this is basically a full snapshot of everything, like from planning your trip to coming and arriving to Jamaica, enjoying your stay, what can you do, what can you not do, and then to departure. So they're taking all the necessary steps to keep everyone safe in Jamaica. If you need more information, you can definitely go to visitjamaica.com. I do have a group traveling to Jamaica soon, so I will definitely help them out in filling out. Well, I won't be doing the forms for them, but I will tell them where to go and how to get access with that. Like I said, you need to fill out the form at least 72 hours before your travel date. Let me just check on my notes and see if I have missed something, but pretty much. Oh, okay. They also talked about the fountain station, the water station in the hotel, that will not operate. So they will be distributing bottled waters, but they suggest for you to bring your own reusable water bottles. Yeah. What else do we have here? I think I managed to actually, I think that is the last slide, so perfect. I think I'm gonna stop screen share now. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. I hope you do get some value out of that. I know I went a little bit too fast, but if you do have any questions, and if you're traveling to Jamaica at any time, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. My husband is in the background. You maybe want to say hi. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It just looks a little bit like a lot of information, but I think it's fine. Like I said, my husband and I will be traveling to Jamaica soon, so I will experience it definitely, and I will share my experience to anyone who is like so wanting to travel already. Um, well, I do have a lot of people here. Thank you so much for joining, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you guys are staying safe and keeping healthy. And yep. So, hi, Aaron. Hi, my buddy. I hope you guys are doing well. So, yep. If you have any questions, it's perfect. I reached my time frame of 20-25 minutes. Yay, good job. So, yeah, perfect. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you again next week for another episode of Ruby Thursday. Take care, guys. Remember, make your life a masterpiece. Bye.